In today's video, I want to take you through the mechanics for Voidwastes. That is the 2-star version of Cursed Wasteland. Now, honestly, I think the mechanics for Voidwastes happen to be a little bit easier than the mechanics for Cursed Wasteland. Now, that's just my personal opinion. You may have a different opinion, but I feel like the Voidwaste is rather easy once you know what you're doing. The beginning section of the dungeon, working your way up to the boss, is the exact same thing as the previous one. The mobs are obviously a bit more powerful, they have more health, and they're a bit more tanky. The trackers are actually really dangerous as well, as their spear attack does a ton of damage. So just be careful, see if your group can clear the number of mobs that you are actually kiting around. If you can, that's fine, just do it. If you can't, if you're having trouble, just pull less mobs at the same time. The first mini boss does have a mechanic. If you are not burning this guy's HP fast enough, you may see this mechanic, but it can totally be skipped. He's going to pull you to the center. Make sure you don't step on the yellow areas of the floor and just move out of the purple ring. The second mini boss has a similar mechanic. He will pull you all into the center, and then you have to interact with these walls in order to get out. Just try to follow along with one set of people interacting with the walls, get out of the purple area, and then back into the fight. Again, both of these mechanics can be skipped if your DPS is high enough. On to the boss mechanics, and really this first one goes for all the 2-star dungeons. So when you see the diamond shape on the boss, you have to dodge that. You cannot block that. It has to be a dodge roll. The first thing that you might notice is the purple tethers or lasers coming from the outside area of the arena. These need to be blocked by players. While you're blocking these tethers, you will be accumulating stacks. You don't want to allow your stacks to reach 30. Adversely, you don't want to allow the boss to reach 30 stacks either. So it's best to set up in twos so that you can share one beam and then just switch out as you accumulate these stacks. However, there is a codex for receiving 29 stacks. When the purple beams disappear, you will see one person get a yellow eye above their head. It's normally the tank, but it can be anybody that's within melee range. You can see that there are 2 pillars on the outer edge that also have that icon. What the player that has the eye needs to do is they need to rotate that eye to hit both of those horns or pillars that are on the outer edge of the arena. Additionally, during this period of time is when you need to allow your cooldowns and your mana regen to happen. At this point in time, the boss is actually taking reduced damage. As you can see, as I'm casting my abilities, those abilities are hitting for very little. So you want to save your abilities during this time, allow your cooldowns to come back, and then after the Q block, you can start using your skills again. He also has the ability to put a red dot above a player's head. Now, this is marked by a voice line, and it can be up to 2 players later on in this event. So the first round should just be 1 player, and you can see it appeared there. You just want to move that to an area where other players are not going to be. As soon as it disappears, run out of the tornado area that it creates. If you have enough time or you're playing with randoms, I definitely recommend taking it in between the purple rays that are always present during this fight. If you could do that, you'll be placing it farthest away from where anybody could be standing. The floor of the arena will also change depending on which mechanic is currently happening. So right now you'd want to stay out of the glowing spots. But throughout the fight, the boss will also drop the yellow poison on the ground. You want to move out of that poison as quickly as possible. Another mechanic that you need to be aware of is when everyone gets a mark above their head, you need to stack on the boss. Everybody's going to take damage, and if you're stacked on the boss, you are going to take a reduced amount of damage when that happens. It also puts everyone in one place for the healer to heal everyone in one spot with an AoE heal. And that's pretty much it. Then you just wash, rinse, repeat until you burn through all of the boss's HP. Let me know in the comments section below, what have you been receiving when you've been opening this? I've been getting a lot of blues in these 2-star dungeons, which just kind of makes me sad. Additionally, is there a single dungeon that you're struggling to get through? One final tip for anybody that stayed this long through the video, thank you very much. Did you know that you can actually run a dungeon and collect the reward when you have 0 tokens for that dungeon? That's right, even at 0 you can go into the negative and collect your reward. That means that you can have one more dungeon run. I'd like to thank all my YouTube members for your continued support. Y'all are absolute legends. Don't forget to whack the like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more content. And if you don't want to be out of whack, there's another video on the screen right now that you can click to support more of my content.